everybody and welcome back to another of my Kerbal Space Program videos, Gargantua Part 5. It's been way too long since I've been active. Well, there is this thing called life, and yeah, well, it happened over the course of the last few weeks, but everything is fine. Well, I'm back and I'm going to visit this little gem of a planet, Plock and Charon. Well, not one planet, two planets locked in some kind of formation. They form the biplanetary system of Plock Charon, which is way out there, and which is incidentally where also the Ozymandias was back in the day. And well, since then apparently some very weird astronomical phenomena have occurred, and the similar bluish planet Plock has become a biplanetary system. Look at that, beautiful! In reality, all that is due to the fact that Captain Robot has updated his Outer Planets mod with, well, an approximation to what Pluto might look like in Kerbal Space Program, with his moon, or its moon, Charon, well, Charon, obviously, in Kerbal Space Program at least. And ever since that update came out of that mod, I really wanted to visit this outer planet again. So here we are, and Gargantua is a very fitting vessel to get out to this little planet. Okay, we're doing our retrograde burn, which takes a lot of time, since Gargantua has a lot of tons, although it has also a lot of engines, but yeah, well, you can't beat physics. And I'm also already aligning myself with the orbit of Charon, because I want to visit that little naughty girl as well. Here we're doing our phase angle change, plane change. I'm sorry, I've been way too long. I really mess up everything today, as you will see further down the video. Okay, some minor adjustments still left. There we go, that looks great. And now I'm going to circularize a bit more, so I really want to have a circular orbit around Plock. And I want it a little bit closer, but there we go, that looks fine and dandy. Okay, now, time to open the cargo bay again, but this time, well, basically the tiniest payload of them all that Gargantua has ever carried, and I forgot to recharge the batteries, so yeah, the triumphant exit of the lander out of the cargo bay has to be postponed because I have to redock and I have to recharge. So basically all the batteries inside the lander are dead. I don't have any electricity left. And yeah, well, so let's fill them up now. Coincidentally, the solar panels no longer, well, they do work out here, but since Gargantua has so many probe cores, you have to imagine every single part that I have docked together, the main thing, each of the wings, the front section, you see that small tug in there that carried the lander inside the cargo bay. It also has a probe core, so there are a lot of probe cores that need a lot of electricity. So even if I turn off the lights and the SAS, because I have a lot of reaction wheels as well, even if I turn everything off, just due to the fact that those probe cores need energy, the solar panels are not enough that far out of the solar system. But that doesn't matter, I have my trusty fuel cells. But here we are, decelerating and descending onto Plock, which has received a significant visual update. I really like it. Oh, look at that, lined up. Gargantua, the lander, Charon and Plock. Okay, time to get down, and also time to shut a few of you guys up, because some of you have been complaining, oh, you're using HyperEdit, you're cheating, Yeah, I use HyperEdit. I also use it a lot because my game crashes a lot. And sometimes, yes, I have to edit some kind of orbit when I evaluate some craft I have to put into orbit before I really launch a mission or something like that. I also use it to save my landing coordinates because it comes in really handy to save where you have landed so I can get back there if I want to. I have a big archive of landing spots somewhere in a giant Excel file. So I use HyperEdit all the time, but not today. Okay, but now we are landing here and boom! Landed. No HyperEdit used. Okay, time to get out and let's perform the duties a Kerbonaut has to perform on a new planetary discovery. Yes, we're going to plant a flag. There we go, Neller Kerman. Yeah, you have some fun, jump around, plant the flag. There we go. What am I going to write? Just some stupid stuff, as always. And let's head back into the lander. Let's close this up. And let's get back into orbit. Because there you see Karen is already on the eastern horizon. And this bodes well for a cheap encounter. Cheap in regards to Delta V. Because I don't have to circularize around Plock and then have to plan my encounter with Karen. Encounter with Karen, that sounds like a really cheap Hollywood romantic comedy. Okay, back to business. We're ascending from Plock into the night skies. Well, into space, the empty vacuum of it. And trying to get our encounter, and it looks perfect. Not that much of Delta V needed, so maybe we can get to Karen onto its surface and back into Karen orbit without refueling. I initially planned to maybe, well, get the lander there and get Gargantua there, refuel the lander for safety reasons, and then land on Karen. But I think I can manage with the Delta V I have left. So let's try to really use as little fuel as possible. First, I'm also going to align myself again with the orbit of Plock. So when I land and I get back up again, I'm going to be in the right plane. Okay, now, circularized around Karen? Yes. We have encountered oh, beautiful. Sunrise, Plock rise, and Karen surface. These are the reasons, well, those sceneries, for instance, are the reasons why I play Kerbal Space Program. And probably will for a very long time. Okay, we're heading down again. And this time I thought, well, I really have to conserve my Delta V. And I tried something that Kerbal Engineer Redux gives me, which is called sort of a suicide burn meter. So basically this tells me how much Delta V, or when I should perform my suicide burn, or at least that's how I interpreted this. Yeah, you're gonna see what happens right about now. Boom! Way too fast! We have lost the landing gear. We have also lost one of the experiments. I think the atmospheric analyzer. Doesn't matter. Karen does not have an atmosphere. But we still have a working lander with more Delta V since we lost the landing gear. Yay! But yeah, the landing gear is really messed up and I'm interested in how I'm going to land this thing now. Maybe if I put it down really softly, then the engine will keep it upright. Oh, we're on an inclination! So maybe half the landing legs are enough from keeping us falling over. Well, it looks stable. Somehow. Okay, it's sliding. This is a known bug that Squad does not fix because landing gears are low priority. Okay, let's plant another flag. Hi there, Karen. Writing some stuff. Blah blah. Yeah, landing gear failed. Oh, get back in there. Get back in there before the lander drives away somewhere where we don't want it. Okay, let's gently pull off from the surface. Take off. Of course, I'm not pulling off here. Okay, let's really hope that we have enough delta V to make orbit. I still have some of that monopropellant left from the RCS system, so we have some sort of safety margin, but this is going to really cut it close for a stable orbit. Whoa, look at the number of delta V left up on the Kerbal engineer readouts, and look at the maneuver node. Oh well, this is going to get interesting. And we did it! We are circularized around Karen with almost no fuel at all. And once again, a beautiful Plock rise? Sunrise? Sun-Plock rise? I don't know. Okay, now, time to get our boy back. So Gargantua is going to travel to Karen as well. Come on, fire your engines. There we go. I'm going to skip ahead through that because Gargantua transfers really take their time. Okay, we have another Karen encounter. The sequel. Sequels to romantic comedies suck even more than the first ones. Okay, now here we are at Karen, and we're going to adjust our trajectory a bit so we get a periapse closer to the one of the lander, which I have not really named yet. Maybe I should call it Plocky? What do you think? And now that we have a periapse in a good position, we are going to, well, of course, circularize around Karen. There we go, firing the engines again. Going to skip ahead through that as well, because it's, well, not really spectacular, and I stayed in map view all the time. Okay, and after that I'm going to keep the apoapse a bit higher than the one of the lander, so I can... Another beautiful shot there. I love biplanetary systems. And I'm going to head around Karen, because our maneuver node where we can adjust the orbit so we can get our rendezvous with Plocky. I'm going to call it Plocky from now on. So where we can rendezvous with Plocky is just one orbit away. Boom, there we go, and then we're going to have to fire our engines once more. And then once again, of course, when we match our velocities, but first we have to get that rendezvous. And it's just a small amount of delta V, so we have to be careful to not overshoot. And it looks fine, 0.2 kilometers, that is really close. Considering that Gargantua herself is almost 100 meters. Okay, matching velocities now. Hi there, Plocky. You can see in the left-hand corner I have activated my fuel cells. And I have docked those menus, so I have them right in hand when I need some power to, well, power the reaction wheels. Okay! We have a rendezvous, we are close to the lander, or the lander is close to Gargantua. It's all relative, folks. And yeah, well, there we go. So, since it's night, which is always boring to watch, sorry about that, I really have to, well, be careful with those wings. So they're really cool looking, at least in my mind. But very impractical, especially if you want to, well, get a small lander around there. Okay now. There we go. Getting closer to the cargo bay. Oh, it's a huge opening. We're not going to miss that now, are we? Are we? Donk. Yes, we are. Oh well, after such a long journey, the Kerbals are on the road for more than 35 years now. You can forgive a small mistake like that to poor Neller Kerman, can't you? And another one, apparently. Oh well, the materials can take it. Those are space-grade materials. They have to take a bump. And we're safely inside the cargo bay, so let's transfer Nella back to the crew compartment. And close up those mighty cargo bay doors. And boom, the crew is complete again. Let's shut down the engine and the other stuff that we don't need. And before we head to our next adventure, let me show you how to increase the delta V of this ship. Well, for some reason it does not count the fuel in the front, so if I pump it to the back, my delta V increases, which I will need in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, goodbye.